Hello and welcome to another episode. This time I'm going to be focusing on Khal Drogo and his Dothraki and comparing them with their real life counterparts Genghis Khan and the Mongols. So my argument's going to be based on three main points. First of all, the mission statement of both parties, how they were both masters on horseback and they both had an obsession with loyalty. So, first of all, it's the mission statement. Now, the Dothraki religion has a prophecy where a stallion will be born who mounts the world, i.e., unites all the Khalasars into one single tribe and then goes on to dominate the world pretty much. Now, in the show, we are led to believe that this is Rogo, Dany and Khal Drogo's son. However, after Miri Mazdor works her magic and Dany's son is born as a grotesque baby with dragon wings, we start to realise it's not going to be him. However, in season 6, when Dany unites all the Khalasars, we start to think it will be her. However, an excellent candidate for this prophecy would be Genghis Khan, the leader of the Mongol Empire. He was the founder of the Mongol Empire, and this was the largest contiguous empire in history. Contiguous means linked by land, so his empire, you could walk from one end to the other, basically. And he did this by uniting all the nomadic tribes of Northeast Asia. So nomadic tribes are ones that live with horses and spend most of their lives on horseback, a lot like the Dothraki. And he certainly had this opinion of himself. When Genghis Khan wrote a letter to the Persian emperor, trying to broker a trade agreement between the two empires, he signed it, "God in heaven, the Ka Khan, the power of God on earth, the seal of the emperor of mankind." So he certainly believed himself capable of fulfilling that Dothraki prophecy. Now, masters on horseback. Dothraki literally means riders, and in their societies, a boy learns to ride and shoot a bow from the age of 4. And we also know that if a Khal can no longer ride, he is no Khal at all, after what we saw with Khal Drogo in season 1. And we know how good they are in horseback after seeing them in action in season 7. What an episode that was. And the ability to shoot from horseback was actually something that the Mongols first brought to real life warfare. Every man over the age of 14 was expected to do military service, and when they reported for military service, they were expected to have with them up to 4 different changes of horse, showing how well these horses were bred in Mongolia. And it was actually this invention of the stirrups, which they stole from their conquest in China, which allowed them to develop this skill of shooting on horseback and made them such formidable warriors. Now, their obsession with loyalty. So this is shown from the Dothraki by blood riders. Blood riders are the personal bodyguards of the Khal, and so much so that when the Khal dies, the blood riders are supposed to live long enough to avenge him if he dies in battle, and then die themselves and ride with him in the Nightlands forever. And Daenerys in the show has her own blood riders, Ago, Joko, and Rakaro, who stay with her throughout the show and are still alive in the books, and they pop up in the show every now and again, actually. And the Mongols too saw the value of loyalty. Genghis actually valued loyalty and brotherhood and promoted his generals on the basis of their achievements rather than on their noble standing. And it was this meritocracy that contributed greatly to his success. People wanted to fight for him because they knew he rewarded loyalty and bravery. He actually allowed captured soldiers to join his army, which made his army swell to great numbers and made him outnumber lots of his rivals. He also treated disloyalty with vengeance, as shown by the war against the Tanganuts. Now, the king of the Tanganuts had promised soldiers to Genghis's Mongol army. However, after failing to deliver on that promise, Genghis, who was in the west at the time, turned his army around and marched on the Tanganut cities. And the campaign was actually the death of Genghis Khan. He did die during it, but just long enough to see those gates of the cities swing open and his Mongols descend on the Tanganut people and wipe out their line, all because they were disloyal. So, to sum up, the mission statement. The mission statement of the Dothraki, or the prophecy, is to have a Carl of Carls who will unite the Dothraki under his single Khalasar and ride them to the ends of the earth. And a great candidate to fulfill this prophecy is Genghis Khan. His sons and grandsons ruled over modern-day Russia, China, Korea, Southeast Asia, Persia, India, the Middle East, and even Eastern Europe. The Dothraki were the masters on horseback, and as we hear many times in the show from the very first series, only a fool would meet them in the open field. And the Mongols were the real-life masters on horseback. Even today, horses are bred in the same way in Mongolia as they were in the days of Genghis Khan. And the obsession with loyalty. This was shown for the Carl in having these blood riders who would stay with him for his life and even in his afterlife. And for the Mongols, it was shown by how they were ahead of the curve in promoting meritocracy rather than noble blood and certain families. So that's it for this time. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.